Back to the Chris Faulkner Show here on SaintSports.com. Rusty Brown joined by head men's basketball coach Chris Faulkner, and we're talking about what happened this weekend up in the Carson Newman tournament up in Jefferson City, Tennessee. Friday night, a loss to the Pioneers there. You lose by 5 points. You turn around on Saturday, have to play another good opponent, Coach Carson Newman, as they come away with a 4-point win, 77-73. Really tough loss here. Again, you're hanging right there in the game. Lose by just a couple of buckets, and a big first half capped off with the Mike Moynihan three-pointer. As time expired here for the Saints, you crawl your way back into the game. Mike Moynihan gets you in it. You're down by just a couple there at halftime. What was key to having success here in the opening half?
Well, we knew they played us zone defense a lot like Newberry did up at Newberry, and we really struggled against the zone. Saturday, we were able to really attack the zone pretty well, and we got some good shots. We hit 8 3-pointers in the first half here, so we really did some nice stuff against the zone, and I think that was a key to that. Looking back on it, I kind of wish they played man the whole second half. I wish they'd have played us some zone because I thought we were kind of clicking and had some things figured out against it, and we're really getting some quality shots against the zone.
Out of the locker room, Carson Newman came out hot, and they went on a 22-10 run. How did they find success against your defense, which they didn't have in the first half?
They did a nice job the second half. Dixon, the little guard for them, really penetrated the interior of our defense well. We struggled at times keeping them in front of us, which we've actually been pretty good at this year. They were very athletic, and we had a hard time with their quickness, and the guys just beating us off the dribble hurt us some. And then they started just pounding it inside on us, and we didn't do as good as we should have of guarding the interior as well.
There in the second half, the Eagles of Carson Newman do get to the free throw line 11 times, so definitely pounding inside under the paint. The Eagles did maintain that 9-point lead before the Saints made their run, and after a 3-point play from Moynihan, the lead was only down to 2 with just 19 seconds remaining. What was the game plan there to try to steal a win away from Carson Newman?
Well, they had the ball with 19 seconds to go when we were pressing and tried to – we were actually going to try to trap one time, and then if we didn't get the steal, we were going to foul the guys. And the guy, we trapped him on the sideline, and their guy actually stepped out of bounds. So we had the ball with, I think, 14 seconds to go, down 2. And we set up a play where we were trying to get Mike Moynihan coming off a ball screen with Andy Bennett rolling to the basket. And, as he came off, it looked like Andy was open. And as Mike went to dish it, their guy just cut in front and stole the ball, and we turned it over on the last possession, basically.
Right, so a tough way to finish this one as Jordan Dixon knocks down a pair of late free throws, and the Eagles of Carson Newman escape with a 4-point victory. 3 players scoring double figures for the Saints, Moynihan with 21, Taylor with 20. Bernard Rimmer also adds 12 points and 8 rebounds, and Rimmer offensively on Friday night, really quiet. What was the difference here on Saturday?
He was much more active Saturday, particularly on the offensive boards. I just felt like I think Bernard's getting better and better. Over the past 4 or 5 games, I feel like he's really trying to get there. And he obviously is a big key for us. We need to get him going. But I think his aggressiveness and his assertiveness on the offensive end was a key to him, the 12 and 8 on Saturday.
After 15 shots are behind the arc on Friday, your bench took 25 3-pointers Saturday and had some big success, as we talked about in the first half and the second as well. What was the change in the game plan, or were the shots just there against Carson Newman?
I think a lot of it had to do with them playing this zone in the first half. Looking here at the first half, we shot 16 of those threes, and we're 8 for 16 from the 3 in the first half. So I think that was a lot of why we took a lot of threes in this game. Ideally, I think this team this year, that's probably a little high for the amount of threes that we need to be shooting. But if we're shooting 50% from the 3, then obviously we need to be. That's fine. But I don't know that we're capable of doing that every night. It's just dependent on the quality of the shots that we're taking.
Right. Michael Moynihan, though, definitely warming up from downtown as he looks to be really shooting the ball well. His brother Pat also shooting well from downtown. Who else can we look to see being a real perimeter player here on this team?
Well, we saw Carl Taylor kind of emerge. He had 5 threes on Saturday, and Carl is a very capable shooter. And I've just kind of been waiting all year for him to get on track and get going, and hopefully this game will kind of springboard him, and he'll, he's capable of putting up big numbers on the offensive end. See here, he had 20 points on Saturday, so if he can kind of keep that going, build on this success, I think that's going to make us better and better.
For the Saints, they do fall 77-73 against Carson Newman. 12 points come from Rimmer, 21 from Michael Moynihan, and 20 from Carl Taylor. We'll be right back here. We're going to wrap things up here on the Coach Faulkner Show on SaintSports.com.
Turnover here. Coleman got a chance for back-to-back dunks. He's going to lay it in with a right-hand kiss off the glass. As the Saints regain the lead. Another turnover from Coleman. Coleman's going to take it the distance. Left-hander off the glass. So Coleman with an alley-oop, a right-handed layup, and a left-handed layup all within a minute. Saints going to try to work it inside. Bennett, left-hander, counted off the glass, 31-26. Up the middle with left hand. Butler goes up strong and finishes with a right-handed layup. I guess they're just backyard brawls. Moynihan for three. Count it! With 1 second on the shot on the game clock, and that will be the end of the first half.
Welcome back to the Chris Faulkner Show here on SaintsSports.com. Rusty Brown, voice of the Saints, joined by head men's basketball coach Chris Faulkner. And we're talking about what happened this past weekend up in Jefferson City, Tennessee against Carson Newman and Tusculum. As coach, you get two really tough losses, just losing by a couple of buckets here, keeping it to single digits. A tough road trip. Tusculum ranked in the top 20 here in Division II. Carson Newman, always a tough team, having to play them at home. Got another tough one coming up on the road on December 10th, a Thursday. East Tennessee State. This team's 6-3. The Bucks have got a lot of players scoring in double digits. They've already taken down Arkansas already this year on the road. What do you do to plan for a team like this?
Well, you know, we've played the two exhibitions against Division I opponents, and this is our final Division I opponent for this year. So we hope that what we can draw from the exhibitions against Georgia and against Kennesaw will hopefully prepare us for this as well. They are a very athletic team. They have been in the Division I national tournament last year. Lost to Pittsburgh by, I think, 6 in the first round. So they are probably the best team on our schedule, and that's, you know, including the exhibition games that we've seen. I think, and we knew that when we kind of made the schedule. So we've got to be prepared to handle their pressure, and their athleticism, I think, is a big key for us. You know, we've got we're heading to finals this week, so we've got a little bit of time off, which is much needed for us in a time where we can give our players a little bit of rest, but then we can get in the gym and really do some work and hopefully brush up on some things that we haven't done well thus far this season.
So again, coming up next is the East Tennessee State Bucks. They are 6-3 on the season. They come out of the Atlantic Sun, same conference as Kennesaw State. So again, you've seen a team like this in that exhibition game. They've got wins against Carson Newman, App State, and Arkansas. They have losses to Louisville, Chattanooga, and Morgan State. But before you go to East Tennessee State, like you said, you get a bit of a break. What changes on your game plan? We've seen a lot of perimeter work here, and also we've seen it work inside with Bennett. What's going to change coming up for this game?
I don't see us really changing a lot. I think the key right now is let's get better at what we're doing. You know, there's no reason for us to totally change what we're doing thus far. We just need to polish up and be a little bit better offensively, executing things. I think our defense is getting there, but obviously we can still improve a little bit on that as well.
So, Coach, what do you take from this weekend? Two tough losses here on the road in the tournament at Jefferson City.
I feel like we're improving. I think we're getting better. I think this team, a lot of new players, you know, they have to understand and learn how to play with one another a little bit better. Myself as a coach, I have to learn how, you know, who needs to be in at what time and those things. And that's something we're all learning together, I feel like. But I feel like two tough games, two games that we had chances to win, you know, we're right there. Now we just got to figure out how to win those games.
Right.
And I think that will come, but it's going to take some time and us learning each other a little bit better as well.
The Saints are 3-3. They take on East Tennessee State on December 10th. That is a Thursday. Then they come home for a long homestand against Anderson University on the 15th, Flagler College on the 17th. You get Newberry on the 30th, and then to start 2010, Augusta State comes to town on January 4th. That's going to do it here for the Chris Faulkner Show here on SaintsSports.com. The Saints are currently sitting at 3-3. Hopefully next time we'll speak to you, Coach. Add another win to the record against East Tennessee State coming up here next Thursday. That's going to do it for us here on the Chris Faulkner Show. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Comes down with it. As Moynihan will take a long three, and he'll knock it down. Well, steal from Bernard Rimmer. He flies high and jams it down. Right-hander. Double figures, and wow, 4 of them pushing the 20-point mark. Bennett slams it home here. And Moynihan drives. Nice no-look pass inside the Rimmer, who jams it home. Here, working over to Buck. Buck's going to work it inside. The right-hander is good from Knowlton.